Hi guys, Linda here from ITTT, back with another live session this week. And today we're going to talk about the latest additions in the digital nomad visa department. So this is sort of a update on current digital nomad visas. I did a live session about digital nomad visas. I think it was July of last year when a lot of digital nomad visas came out. And since then, a lot has happened and a lot more digital nomad visas are available now. So I thought this would be a great time to go through some of the new ones that came out, new countries, new opportunities, and also kind of recap a little bit what are digital nomads, what are digital nomad visas, who is it for, and maybe it's something that you can do and that will work for you. And that's just something we're going to look at today. And I hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's having a good time. And let me know where you're watching from today. As always, that's one of my first questions for you guys. Where are you watching from? Where are you at right now? What time is it? How are you doing? Just let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate that. We are live, as always, on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And if you're listening to this as a podcast episode, thank you so much for the download. As you might know, we always turn our live sessions into podcast episodes afterwards. So if you're not yet subscribed to our podcast channel and you're into podcasts, you like the audio only, you can take us with you on the go. I always like to listen to my podcasts when I'm driving. So if that's also something that you're into, search for us. We are on every place where you can get your podcasts from. So just search for the TEFL and TESOL podcast by ITTT and you find us there. And then don't forget to like and subscribe. We go live every week. Every week. This is a weekly event. If you're watching this for the first time, just letting you know we are doing this every week for completely free, talking about different TEFL and TESOL topics, really everything under the sun related to TEFL, TESOL, and teaching. And we always have also a Q&A at the end of each topic where you can ask your questions. And you can also just pop your questions related to today's topic throughout the entire session. No problem at all. We also have a 30% discount today. So if you're not yet TEFL or TESOL certified, today's your lucky day. You can get this 30% off discount code. So what you can do, you can either scan this lovely QR code that you see right here, or you can use the link that I'm going to share with you right now. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, you will find the discount code in the podcast episode description. So here we go. I'm just going to share that right now with you all in the comment section. And it ends with FB Live minus Linda. So you know this is the right link. Copy paste this link and you will get 30% off any TEFL or TESOL course from ITTT. So, yep. All right, let's have a look at the comments real quick. We have Amitava. Thank you so much for joining week after week after week. Amitava, I'm doing great. Good morning. How are you doing today? I know it's very early where you are, so I appreciate you every time tuning in. I love it. Oh, Daniela is back. Hi, Daniela. Closer to finishing my 120-hour course. Yay, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. I'm sure everything's going to go well. So, yeah, I'll keep pushing you from far away, but I'll think of you. Awesome. Very exciting. What has been your favorite unit so far? The favorite topic, your favorite topic throughout the course, Daniela? Let us know. Laturg is back as well. Hi. Hello, Linda. Good morning. Hi. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. And Sam 1057. Good morning, Linda, or good Linda. I love it. How are you today? Good morning, Linda. There we go. I'm doing great. How about you, Sam? Thank you so much for joining again as well. I appreciate you. Oh, and Daniela says the ESA methodology rocks. Yes, that's actually my favorite part too, because this methodology, if there's one thing to take away from a TEFL course, it's definitely the ESA methodology, because this will help you in so many situations. It'll save your life when you're teaching if you stick to this methodology. Really, nothing can go wrong. So I agree. Awesome. That's good. Great. Okay. Very nice. Did I say that already? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I think I did, but I'm just gonna say it again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, we're live on Facebook, on YouTube, so follow each other's, like, the platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and also like our Facebook page and vice versa. We're also on Instagram, of course, TikTok, all of the platforms. So go check us out. Lots of good stuff, especially on our Facebook page. We share a lot of stuff every single day, teaching materials, literally anything you can think of, we are sharing. And yeah. All right. I think. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. If we have somebody here who's new watching here today, I just want to introduce myself real quick. Who am I? I'm a travel writer, content creator, and also language teacher. I teach English and German. And my handle is basically Linda Goes East. You can also find me on Instagram at Linda Goes East. And I always say that if you have any questions that you don't want to ask here in front of everybody, you can just DM me. That's totally fine. But yeah, I have my own website at lindagoeseast.com, where I share basically my life in Asia. So that's why East, Linda Goes East. I've been living in Asia pretty much since 2012. I started out living in China, teaching English in China, and then I moved over to South Korea. And this is actually my 8th year in South Korea. I can't believe it. Time flies by so fast. So that's kind of shout out to all the expats who are teachers who are saying, oh, I'm going to go abroad for a year. Well, a year for me turned out to be 8 years. So there we go. But anyway, so I'm originally from Germany and the US. My mom is German. My dad's American. That's why I teach German and English. And yeah, I'm based in South Korea. I love it here. So that's that. And then also, I'm a TEFL and TESOL marketing professional for ITTT, which stands for International TEFL and TESOL Training. And you can find us at teflcourse.net and also on all the socials here at International TEFL Training. That's actually the Instagram handle, because you're already familiar with Facebook and YouTube. So I put that on there. And what is ITTT? If you're new to it, if you're wondering, ITTT is a leading TEFL and TESOL course provider worldwide. One of the first ones around. We've been around since the 1990s, so very long time, very long established. We have a lot of different affiliations with other prominent institutions in the field, EFL institutions, etc. So long established. We work with a lot of different schools, EFL, TEFL, TESOL recruitment agencies around the world to place our graduates. And we also have in-class centers. So we don't only do the online part, we also do the in-class things, 4-week in-class course around the world. So that's another thing. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. And then I think we're jumping right in. So let me just go back to this real quick. And maybe get rid of the banner here and make myself bigger for just a second, but just talking about today's topic. So again, we're going to talk about the latest additions to our digital nomad visa collection. Like I said in the beginning, I did a live session about digital nomad visas back in, I think it was July of last year. And this is sort of a follow-up. So if you haven't seen the other one, and I'm actually going to share the other one in just a second, but I recommend you watch that as well if you're interested in being an online English teacher, a digital nomad, and taking advantage of these visas. I highly recommend you check out the first live session I did in the past as well. And today is a follow-up, so I'm not going to go through the same countries again. I'm sticking to all the new ones. And actually also not all the new ones, just my personal picks, because there's so many out there now. And we're going to talk about that in a second. So I'm going to mention the ones that are available so you can check it out if there are some countries that are interesting to you. But it's really all over the world. In every continent, you can find a digital nomad visa now. So this is really, really great news. And yeah, like I said, maybe this is something that you are interested in pursuing, because I mentioned this last time too. Actually, now is such a interesting time in the TEFL TESOL teaching world. It used to be really only going abroad to teach English. And then because of COVID, and also before COVID already, but COVID really pushed that, the online teaching thing. So it was possible to teach English online. And now, with also kind of post COVID, because of COVID, through COVID, this new thing emerged where you can teach English online and live abroad with a digital nomad visa. So this is now a path that a lot of people are taking because of many reasons that we're also going to get into, but that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm so happy that you are here and you're joining me for today. And yeah, please keep your comments coming. I really appreciate that. And we're going to jump right into the topic for today. And I'm going to take some coffee. Very good. You can tell it gets warmer now in Korea because I'm drinking iced coffee. I always normally drink, I already had one warm cup of coffee, but the weather is getting warmer, so I like my iced coffee. How about you guys? Do you like iced coffee? It's definitely a staple here in South Korea. All right, so let's go through, first of all, what a digital nomad is. If you're totally new to all of this, you might be wondering, what is a digital nomad exactly? So let's have a look at that. So basically, a digital nomad can be defined as people who use telecommunications technologies to earn a living. And this kind of sounds a little 2000s, I don't know. But basically, people who work online, right? People who work online and they conduct their life in a nomadic manner. So that means they work location independently. They might work for a month from Spain, and then the next month they work from Brazil. The next month they might work from Bali. I don't know. So they make traveling and exploring new places their lifestyle. It's all about working from nice places, traveling while also earning a living. It's a whole new lifestyle. That's what being a digital nomad is all about, in a nutshell. And so the next question becomes, of course, what is a digital nomad visa? This is a visa that is aimed at just those people who want to work remotely and live in a foreign country, obviously. And there are so many jobs available to us from our laptops. And for us, interesting might be online English teaching. A lot of online English teachers living abroad, they also become bloggers or writers. You can also be a programmer, a social media expert, content creator, a translator, all of these kinds of things, or web design, web development, web graphic design, web design, anything that you could do online. And especially in the last few years, also because of COVID, more and more remote positions have become available, so you can do a lot more. I have a friend, she works in customer service online from home. So that's another thing. Really, 2023, there's so many options when it comes to working remotely. But of course, for us here, what's interesting is the online teaching side of things. So online teaching for different platforms, you can also do that. Or you can make your own website and become an online English teacher. So that's also a possibility. But that is basically the visa. So a digital nomad visa is a visa for digital nomads. And the next question then becomes, what are the benefits of being a digital nomad? And we kind of touched on that already. And I think these are just amazing benefits, right? We talked about exploring the world. So you can experience life in another country without the hassle of having to organize immigration visas, right? Immigration visas, so these are long-term permanent residency visas. They're usually very difficult to get to, a lot of different requirements. And at the same time, tourist visas are not long enough, right? If you want to stay in a country for longer, but not forever or really permanently, if it's just maybe a few months, 6 months, a year, right? Those kinds of time frames, then this is for you. And you can explore the world like from an inside perspective, like a local. Another benefit is that you can be self-employed. So some digital nomads, they have embraced the digital nomad lifestyle 100%, and they work from a project to project basis on a self-employed basis. So that's another thing you could do. You could really work from project to project. A lot of people are doing that. They have contracts over a couple of months, a 1 month project, 2 months, 3 months, and then it's over. Or more like a freelance situation. Again, you could also be self-employed with your own online teaching business, online teaching website, or a blog, a travel blog, a blog about teaching English online. I mean, literally, the options are just endless, right? You get my point. Or you can work also for one employer, just one employer, instead of being a freelancer working for many different things. So other digital nomads, they are employed full-time, but are able to negotiate working from home or remotely. And this is something, again, that we've seen a lot more of post-COVID now. A lot of companies are recognizing the benefits of remote workers. One of the big ones, of course, they don't have to have a physical office, right? Rent office buildings, office space, real estate is incredibly expensive and has become more and more expensive. So that's one great benefit for the companies. They don't have to have an actual office. They can save that money. They don't have to purchase office space or rent office space. They can have their employees work from their homes or anywhere in the world. So that is another option. Or at the same time, relevant to us, you could work for just one online teaching platform or school and have that contract only with them. That would be another example of being employed full-time for one employer. So as you can see, there are a lot of great benefits for being a digital nomad. There are also benefits for the local economies, right? So the countries that give out these digital nomad visas, they also see a lot of benefits. That's why they are doing this so much these days. So one reason is to attract new foreign talent. So they want to encourage remote workers to travel and put down roots for an extended period of time. That's very valuable for these local economies. And then when they do so, this actually grows the local economy. So the digital nomads, they spend their money in their new hometown and thus help to revive the economy. And this was especially important during COVID, when all of the travel visas, traveling was impossible. We couldn't do that. So then a lot of countries, they pivoted, they switched, and they opened up their countries to these digital nomads by rolling out digital nomad visas, which allowed them to come to the country also during COVID. Because it was not a tourist visa, it's more of a permanent residency, sort of in between a tourist and a permanent residency. So it's a lot easier to get this visa than a permanent residency normally, but it doesn't fall into the tourist category. So it was possible to do that during COVID. So that's why a lot of countries did that. And so the whole thing is also a lot more sustainable with longer term stays, having less impact on the environment and society of a host country. So that's also one reason. We see this a lot in places where mass tourism is really a big problem. We've seen that a lot with Venice as a great example in Italy, where they had, before COVID, one cruise ship after another coming into the city, and these people only stay for a couple of hours and they barely spend any money there, but they destroy the whole place, basically. Mass tourism, and then they leave again. right? So this is what local economies really want to avoid. And that's one great thing with the digital nomad visa. It's more sustainable. It's also better for the local population instead of having mass tourism. So that's how the local economies benefit. Yeah. Again, if anybody wants to make any comments throughout this, please feel free to add a comment in if you want, or any question, anything that's not clear. You can be like, excuse me, Linda, could you say that again? Or could you explain that again? Or if you have any experience with anything that I'm saying today, please feel free to share. I'd love that. I'd love that. All right. So these are the benefits. And now let's talk about how you can become a digital nomad. So what do you have to have? So the requirements, they really vary from country to country. And all of the countries I'm going to talk about today, I'll mention the requirements for each of the countries. But in general, they usually include the following things. So a general visa application fee, right? We see this with all of the visas. You have a visa application fee. So this is the same, which varies in price from country to country. Then also proof of self-sustainability. So almost all of the digital nomad visas have this, where you need to prove that you make a certain amount of money every month, or sometimes they also want to see it per year. And sometimes it increases if you bring along other people. So if you're a couple, or if you have children, this number increases. So we'll take a look at that. So it could either be a minimum yearly income, minimum monthly income. Of course, you also need to prove that you are in fact working online. You work remotely. So usually what this means, if you, for example, you want to be a digital nomad in Spain, you need to prove that you work remotely for a company outside of Spain. So usually then it is a remote or digital nomad. If you live in a country, but your workplace, your job is registered in a different country. So that's usually how it goes. And then a lot of times you also need to have a clean criminal background check, and you need to provide health insurance. So you need to arrange that before you go there with your own, with insurance from back home. You need to have health insurance coverage. So this is usually what we see and what you need to have. So I think it's not too difficult. You don't have to speak the language at all. You don't have to, I don't know, have any amount of experience, right? So it's a lot more doable than for a lot of other visas, which is why this has become so popular. So then, which countries have digital nomad visas? So actually, as of right now, there are 55 digital nomad visas worldwide. So in 55 different countries, which is a lot. And really on all of the continents, everywhere. And especially I also added here the Caribbean, because they have a lot of digital nomad visas. They're really one of the best places right now for digital nomad visas. And I also talked a lot about the Caribbean region in my first live session. So if you're interested in that area, I highly recommend you check out the previous live session. But yes, everywhere in the world, wherever you want to go, whichever continent, you can find a country with a digital nomad visa there. Hi, Daniel. How are you doing? Daniel says, those are great perks of becoming a digital nomad. My kind of dream job. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. Great to see you, Danielle. All right, good. And because I just mentioned this live session, so this is it. This was my previous live session, and I think it's really cute with my glasses on. But I'm going to share the link with you guys in the comments. I'm just going to click on here, and then I get the link. So 1 second. And then I'll share that with you all in the comments section, so you can have a look at this previous live session from last year, July. All of these digital nomad visas that I mentioned in this video still exist, right? They're just a bunch of new ones that came along. So this is the video, the previous live session here. Yeah, looks like this. There we go. This is it. Previous live session about digital nomad visas. And today, again, is a follow-up where I'm mentioning not those same ones I mentioned already, but we're going to look into new destinations, new digital nomad visas. Actually, a lot of new digital nomad visas came out November, December of last year and beginning of this year. So that's why now is a great time to look into our new options. So are you ready? I hope you're ready to go. And then we're going to jump into our new destinations right now. So let me have a look here. Oh, no, it's going to play it. No, I don't want to play it. There we go. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. There we go. All right, today I'm going to cover 6 new visas available, digital nomad visas. There might be more new additions, but I think these 6 are the most exciting, the most talked about, and we're just going to mention those. So the surge in digital nomad visas in countries around the world in the past few years can be attributed to the desire to attract global talent. So for all of these countries, they want to attract global talent. And then as well as the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which caused many countries to shift their focus to remote workers as a source of revenue and stability. So that's why we see so many digital nomad visas coming at the moment in the last few months, in the last year. Again, we have 55 options here. And today we're going to look at these 6 in particular. And then we're also going to look at the future because there are also more digital nomad visas in the pipeline coming soon. There is talks about different destinations who are in the process of introducing digital nomad visas, but they are not official yet. They haven't come out yet, but I'm also going to show you these ones. So without further ado, let's jump into our first destination here, which is Spain. And this one really is very exciting. A lot of people have been waiting for this one, the Spain digital nomad visa. So the visa length for this one is up to 12 months, and it is possible to be extended for up to 5 years, which is amazing, amazing. So if you're interested in living in Spain for a longer time, this digital nomad visa will make it possible. The minimum income requirement, so you need to prove that you make at least 2,334 euros a month for a single adult. And I think this because it's kind of a weird number, but I think I read somewhere it is just the minimum wage times like on a monthly for a monthly hours. So that's why it's this amount. But why do they have this minimum income requirement? Because we're going to see this in all of the visas. They have a minimum income requirement. They just want to make sure that you are able to support yourself while you are there, right? While you are there, you need to be able to support yourself. And so who can apply? Who is this for? Non-EU and EEA citizens. So if you are EU citizen, you can move to anywhere in the EU anyway, without a visa, I believe. So it's for people from outside of the EU. So this is really good. And then the cost of program, really, there's no fee. Basically, all it is the required documents that you need to get. So you need to get a bunch of documents, you need to get them translated, you need to get an apostille on it, and all of that adds up and also costs money. So it's probably a couple of $100, €100 that this will cost you, but there's no fixed number. So you just need to provide different documents, background checks, and all of those things, and they will cost you money. And then the time it takes for the visa application. So you apply, and then how long does it take for you to get that visa? So at the moment, anywhere from 15 to 45 days. That's how long it will take until you then have the visa in your passport. And Costa says, I'm interested. Absolutely keep watching. And then you can find out more. So this is the first one, the digital nomad visa in Spain. And Spain, I think, is really going in the right direction because we also see Portugal as being such a popular destination for digital nomads. And Portugal is a neighboring country of Spain, right? And so I think that's why Spain also introduced their own digital nomad visa, because why not? And Spain is actually one of the most popular countries, especially in Europe, for being a digital nomad. There's so many great opportunities. The cost of living is lower in other compared to other European countries. And they also really want to boost their local economies. So they really want to get these digital nomads to come to their country, stay longer, spend money. So it's really, really great. So yeah, this is Spain, and I think it's really exciting to have this new option in Europe. And again, it is possible to be extended for up to 5 years, which is amazing. So if you're interested in staying in Spain for a longer time, this visa is really worth looking into. The next destination we're going to look at is Thailand. And this visa is called the Digital Work Permit. So this is the name for the digital nomad visa in Thailand. And this just came out recently. The visa length for this one is a whooping 4 years, and it can also be extended. So that's really, really great. Really amazing. The minimum income requirement is $80,000 a year. So this is a little bit steep, right? This could be a little bit too steep for some people. I actually didn't calculate. How much is that per month? I'm so bad with numbers, guys. I always need my calculator. So divided by 12. Yeah, this is like $6,666 US dollars a month. That seems like a lot. Wow. Okay. Thailand digital nomad visa. Or Thailand? Does that seem right? That seems like a lot. 80,000. Thailand digital nomad visa minimum salary. Here we go. I'm just gonna double check that. That seems like, yeah, that's right. Wow. Remember that you must earn a minimum of 80,000 US dollars per year. Wow. That seems like a lot. Wow. I didn't expect that. Really? Wow. You would think, places like Thailand, it's like similar to Bali. It could be really like a hub for digital nomads, but with this minimum requirement, that seems like a lot. I'm actually a little bit shocked right now. Maybe there will be some changes in the future, because this really seems like a lot. Okay. Well, that is that. So anyway, that's the minimum income requirement. And as you can see, they vary a lot between the countries. So I just double checked that, because that really seemed like a lot, but it's correct. $80,000 a year to qualify for this digital work permit. So interesting. The time for the visa applications is approximately 3 months. So after you apply, it will take 3 months to get the visa. And then who can apply? Literally anyone who works in the digital world. So you need to have a job online. And there are also 5 types of smart visas, what they call them. So there's Smart T for talent, Smart I, investor, Smart E, Smart S, Smart O. So maybe, let's see, Smart T. Oh, Smart T. I'm just going to Google that. Thailand Smart T visa minimum salary. Okay, Smart T work permit entitlement additional 100,000 baht per month. Is that right? 100,000 baht to USD. See, and that is 2,948 US dollars. So maybe the Smart T what I found, I think the 80,000 is the smart, the other smart investor, smart executive, smart startup, because the smart T, which would be, I think, your regular digital nomad, is 100,000 baht per month. Okay, well, that makes more sense, right? Smart T. So you really need to look into which one this would be. So Smart T talent is for highly skilled professionals in the targeted industries: automotive, wellness, tourism, agriculture, aviation and logistics, biofuels, biochemicals, digital, medical hubs, smart electronics, food for the future, automation and robotics, etc., etc. So, and actually, this is interesting because I actually read an article, I'm just going to put that in there, about the digital nomad visa in Thailand, because all of these requirements with the income are actually quite high. And also, if we look at the Smart T talent visa and the requirement is also, it's 10,000 baht. So it's about that. $2,700, $2,900 per month minimum income, which is also quite high, right? Especially for Thailand. So I read an article about somebody who is a digital nomad in Thailand saying that a lot of people just do the visa, the regular tourist visa. You can actually be a digital nomad just on the tourist visa. And that's actually a lot easier still than dealing with the digital nomad visa, the new digital nomad visa in Thailand, because this one is still, compared to other digital nomad visa programs, a little bit harder to fulfill all of these requirements. So this person in the article actually recommended for the average digital nomad, it is easier to just go through the Thai tourist visa. So I just wanted to put that out there. But this is the digital work permit that Thailand came out with. But as you can see, the requirements for the salary are quite high. And also the cost of the program, if you look down here, the whole thing to apply for that visa costs over $2,500. So 2,760, 10,000 baht, which is also quite a lot. So it's actually quite expensive. So yeah. Still, I think going through the traditional way of being a digital nomad, going through the tourist visa for Thailand is still a better option than this visa at the moment. So I hope maybe we'll see some changes to this one in the near future where it can benefit just your average digital nomad and not the high. Yes. Thailand changed since after COVID. That increased the money. Yes, absolutely. For sure. But compared to other digital nomad programs, this really seems quite high. So it might be a good option for you, but it's also not, it might not be a good option for everybody, right? But I wanted to mention it because it's Thailand, and Thailand is one of the most popular destinations for teaching and for traveling in general, and of course also for being a digital nomad. So wanted to put that in there. All right. Good. Then this one is also very exciting. This one is Belize. And this is called the Work Where You Vacation program in Belize for digital nomads. And this visa length is up to 6 months, and you can also extend it. And here they have a similar minimum income requirement. So it's 75,000 US dollars per individual, or 100,000 for couples and families. Also, again, quite high, but this is something what we see a lot in the Caribbean countries. So they tend to have some really high income requirements. So this is pretty normal for this region. There are some other ones that are lower. So again, I recommend you check out the previous live session about digital nomad visas, where I mentioned more about the Caribbean. The time for the visa application for this one is just a few weeks, so it makes it very attractive. And anyone with a valid passport and travel insurance policy with a minimum coverage of 50,000 US dollars can apply. So it's really easy to get into, again, if you have the money and you can you have these minimum income requirements. The cost of the program in general is around 300 USD. So Belize is it has been a popular vacation destination in the Caribbean for a lot of people in that region. So it's no surprise to see that Belize now also rolled out a digital nomad visa after all of these other digital countries in the region already having digital nomad visas. And that is really, if we look at, let me just check my previous presentation with all the countries here in the Caribbean. We had, one second, where is it? I don't want to say anything wrong here, just making sure. Where is the Caribbean? Oh, here, I think. Yeah, so we have, there we go. Digital nomad visas in the Caribbean, very popular. Antigua and Barbuda. Here you need to have an income to prove of only 50,000 US dollars, so it's less than Belize, which is great. And then we have, what was the next one? The Bahamas. So the Bahamas, it's also less, which is good income to prove. You just need to have a letter from your current employer. This is also a good option. But again, these places are quite expensive. Barbados, also 50,000 per year. So as you can see, but I remember the Cayman Islands was ridiculous. So the Cayman Islands, yes, here, you needed to have $1,000 per year for a single person, 100,000 per year for just one person, 150 for a couple, and 180 for a whole family. So that was really the luxury program. And this was called the Cayman Islands Global Citizen Concierge Program. So this one's definitely luxury. So Belize, in that sense, really fits into all the other programs in the region. So no surprise there that Belize now also has that rolled out. All right, going back to this here. And then we have Colombia. So this is really great. A better option in terms of minimum income requirements. So Colombia here, this one's called the Colombia Visitor Visa for Digital Nomads. I think I really like this name. I like it. So the visa length for this one is 2 years and possible to extend. There's no information available yet. This is super new and they didn't say yet if they are able to extend it or not. So we will see later on. But the minimum income requirements for the digital nomad visa in Colombia is around 670 US dollars. So that is 3 million Colombian pesos per month. So that's a lot less, right? That's a lot easier to accomplish than, for example, the 2,600 or 700 in Belize. Different ball game here. We love to see it. Then the time for the visa applications, also there's no information yet because this is brand new, so nobody knows that yet. Time will tell. Who can apply? Again, really anyone with a valid passport and travel insurance policy with a minimum of 50,000 coverage, and the cost of the program is around 300 US dollars. So yeah, this one is really easy to get into, and Colombia is really promoting that to get people to come to Colombia. Colombia has also been a really good place for teaching English. So this is, what I would do. I would go to Colombia as a digital nomad. You can teach English online, and then you can also find plenty of students to tutor face-to-face in your free time in Colombia, because English education is really booming in Colombia as well. So that would be a great option for people interested in South America, looking for new options. So that's why I put that up here. We love to see all the different digital nomad visas in all corners of the world. And I think Colombia is another great option because it has been an emerging EFL market for a while now. So no surprise that with the digital nomad visa, you can really combine these forces. You can get the digital nomad visa, move to Colombia, be an online English teacher, or do whatever online work you want to do, and then also find English students to tutor to supplement your income. And with the really low income requirement of only 670 US dollars, it's really good to get. And again, the visa length for this one is 2 years. All right, very good. And then also really nice is Malaysia. So actually, digital nomad visas are still quite rare in Asia. So we love to see another Asian country rolling out a digital nomad visa. They're kind of late to the game, Asia, for whatever reason, but they're kind of slowly coming out of their shell and introducing digital nomad visas. And Malaysia is one of them. And this is called the Di-Rantau program for digital nomads in Malaysia. The visa length for this one is between 3 months and 12 months. So that's a pretty good range for a digital nomad. And it can be extended for another 12 months. The minimum income requirement for this one is only 24,000 US dollars per year. So also quite achievable for many of us. The time for visa applications is up to 4 weeks, so it also goes quite fast. And anyone, any location independent worker in the digital sphere can apply. So this is very broad. If you do anything working online, you can apply for this. You are eligible to receive this visa. The cost of program is 221 US dollars for a single person, plus 110 for any dependent, so any partner, any children, anyone coming with you. So I think this is a great option. Again, Malaysia is a good place to go, and also for English education. Actually, a lot of people in Malaysia speak English really well. However, actually, I traveled to Malaysia a couple of years ago, and what's interesting, the older generation, so I would say 50 up, they speak English really well. And this is a local who told me, who was in his 50s, and he said, yeah, the older generation, they speak English really well because at that time English was still an official language or in their country. Maybe somebody who's watching knows this better than me, but I just remember him saying that to me. But then after that, it became, it's not an official language anymore. So the newer generation, the younger generation, doesn't speak English as well. So that's why there's a lot of opportunity. A lot of opportunity for us as English teachers in Malaysia as well. So again, you can work remotely, you can work online in Malaysia. Again, maybe teaching English online or whatever other online work you want to do, and then find students to tutor in your free time to supplement your income. Or you could even work maybe part-time at a school or whatever it is. So again, lots of opportunities. And Malaysia in general, I really like Malaysia. I think it's a fascinating place, a cultural melting pot. That's what really stuck in my mind when I visited. I remember, and I said this before, but this was just so cool when I visited. I still remember this. There's one street, and you have a Hindu temple or Hindu shrine in the street, next to a Buddhist temple, next to a Muslim mosque, all in one street, all next to each other, kind of next to each other. And that's basically Malaysia. You have these 3 major groups of people living together, which also results in just a melting pot of cultures, of also amazing food and flavors. So I remember that very well. And I think that would be an amazing place to live and explore as a digital nomad for a couple of months. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And I really want to go back to Malaysia and see more of it anyway. So great. All right. So that is that. And I think, do we have one more to go through? Yes. Okay. So another place in Europe, and this is also quite new, and this is called the Nomad Residence Permit in Malta. In Malta. So the visa length for this one is 12 months, and it is also possible to be extended for up to 2 years. So another really good opportunity here. The minimum income requirement for this one is 2,700 euros per month for a single adult. And the time for the visa applications takes between 30 and 40 days. So also quite fast. You submit everything and then you have to wait about a month to get the visa. Who can apply? Any non-EU EEA citizen who works for a foreign registered employer, or if you are a shareholder, a partner in a foreign registered company, and a freelancer consultant to clients with permanent establishments in foreign countries. So also just your standard digital nomad requirement here. The cost of the program is for 1 year, 300 euros. And if Malta is a small island in Europe, and they also have a history of having English as an official language. So there is a lot of English education already established there. So you can fit in perfectly in Malta and also find students to tutor or schools to work for. I imagine this would be a lot more business English, perhaps. But definitely a lot of opportunities. So this is another great destination if you're A, looking for a place in Europe, B, looking for a place with like an island vibe, nice weather, nice beaches, and 3, a place that already speaks English but still has a good demand for English teachers as well. So Malta could be another great one, and definitely wanted to include this here. Because why not? Why not? It's one of the new ones, so I think it's a good place to go. Again, if you're interested in Europe in particular. So again, we talk about all of the regions today. As you can see, digital nomad visas are available in all corners of the world, which I really love. So there's so many different options to choose from. And yeah, Malta is one of them. So these were the ones we talked about today. And then there are some rumors and some official news as well about more digital nomad visas coming soon. And one of them is here, Montenegro. They're currently working on one. This is another country in Europe who are really trying hard to work on that and finalize things to attract foreign talent and digital nomads. Also Italy. So everybody's kind of excited and waiting for the Italian digital nomad visa, which is also coming out very soon. From all the rumors, what I can hear, also Latvia, which is Northern Europe. And then very exciting, we see more Asian locations. Again, like I said earlier, Asia is kind of behind. They're kind of slowly now starting to roll out digital nomad visas. Of course, the holy grail and best destination, or the digital nomad hub at the moment in Asia, is still Bali. And this was probably one of the first ones. But we are expanding in Asia. So we have Thailand. We have, what did we talk about? Malaysia. We also have Taiwan, which I mentioned in my previous live session. So we love to see more places now. And what else do we have? Yes. So there is Bali, of course. Which one was this we talked about last time? Let me just have a look here. The Seychelles, yeah. And then also Dubai has their very own program. Oh, wait, I guess Seychelles was actually in Africa. The African. Yeah, and that's about it. So there are really not that many options in Asia still. So we love to see Sri Lanka come in. Sri Lanka is rolling out a digital nomad visa very soon. They already have some details available, but I didn't want to share because they might, change. But you can Google this. Google Sri Lanka digital nomad visa. You'll find some information, but it is not available yet. And also South Korea, very exciting. They are rolling out one also this year or maybe next year. So they're already working on it, and there are some details already out, but they haven't They haven't opened it yet. But this is definitely something that is coming. I'm very excited about that. I live in South Korea, so I'm super excited to see Korea emerge kind of as a digital nomad destination. So I'm super excited about that. And again, if you are interested in coming to Korea as a digital nomad, you'll find so many English teaching opportunities here at every corner. You don't even know, you're not going to know what to pick. So there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of private tutoring also. A lot of people want to get their hands on a private English tutor in Korea. So I think that's going to be really great. So these are the ones that are currently in the works. There are some news about it, there are rumors about it, but nothing officially released yet. So I'm going to keep my eye on these destinations and then probably do another update video, another update live session in a couple of months once these are out and we have some new countries to report on. But yeah, these are the places that we talked about today. And I think there is something good here for everybody. And so that shouldn't be here, the request a callback. Anyway, ignore that. So where out of these places, where would you like to go? I want to ask you guys now, where would you like to go? Where would you like to go? Based on what we talked about today, or just your dream destination where you're like, oh, I wish they had a digital nomad visa, or I wish I could go there and teach and live abroad. So where would you go? I think out of all of these that we mentioned today, I would probably like to go to maybe Malaysia, because I just talked about it and I really love Malaysia. I would probably go to Malaysia because I'm biased, guys. I love Asia, so. But like I said, especially the food in Malaysia is amazing. You have amazing Indian food, Chinese food, everything, Malay food, local Malay food. It's just great. It's the best. So I would probably pick Malaysia, but what about you guys? Where would you like to go out of these destinations we talked about today, or any other destination that's on your mind and you're like, oh, I wish I could just go there and live there? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Where would you like to go? Do I have a question banner? No. I wish I had one. Create a banner. Here you go. I'm going to make one. Where would you like to live abroad? Or are you like, no, I want to stay at home? Which of these countries that we mentioned today, or any other country that's on your mind, where would you like to live and why? Maybe why? Let me know. And while I'm waiting for that answer, I'm going to just show you guys how you can reach us at ITTT. So a great way is always to email us courses at tsol-tefl.com for any questions about TEFL TESOL and all of that. And then, of course, our website, teflcourse.net. And also, when you go to our website, at the top, you can see a callback request. So you can request a callback and speak with a TEFL course consultant from ITTT if that's something you want to do as well. So a lot of ways to reach us. Of course, you can also reach us on our social media. No problem. So a lot of ways here to reach us. I just wanted to put that out there. And I'm still waiting for some answers here. Where would you like to live abroad? Which country are you most interested in? Was it Malaysia, Malta, Thailand? What else did we talk about? Spain. And what did we talk about? I already forgot which one. There was 6. I mean, which one was it? This slide. No, this slide. Oh yeah, Colombia, Belize, Colombia and Belize. Which one out of these? So we have Spain, Thailand, Belize, Malaysia, Colombia, and Malta. So which out of these are you most interested in? Or any other? Japan. Okay, Japan. You know what? I need to check. I need to write that down. If they have a digital nomad visa also in the works. Because usually, like, I feel like they might also roll one out. If Korea has one or does one, Japan might also do it. That's kind of always what they do. They kind of compete with each other. One does one thing and then the other one kind of does the same thing. So I'm going to write that down. Digital nomad visa. And they might also come out with one. All right. And Amitabha says, I would love to live in some country in Europe as first preference. Nice. Which one? Which country in Europe are you most interested in, Amitabha? Or is it like just anywhere in Europe? Doesn't matter. As you can see, we have a lot of options actually for digital nomad visas in Europe. And also in my previous live session about digital nomad visas, there are a lot of countries in Europe doing that as well. So that might be a good option for you. And Daniel says, today's world keeps shrinking as we connect with each other online. There are plenty of options where to choose from. I know it's getting hard because, like I said in the beginning, there are 55 digital nomad visas available. It's just too many, right, to choose from. It's crazy. It's crazy. Too much choice. Too much choice. Absolutely. All right, great. Thank you guys so much. And then last but not least, I want to mention again that we do have 30% off, of course, right? So I'm going to share with you again the link in the comments so that you can get a 30% discount off of your TEFL or TESOL course. Oh, and Mary also put an answer. I'm going to read that out as well, Mary. All right, so this is what the discount code looks like. FB Live minus Linda will get you 30% off of your TEFL or TESOL course to really kickstart your English teaching career. This is also, of course, helpful and necessary nowadays in many cases for teaching English online. You really need to have a TEFL certificate. So 30% off will just really boost and help. And I just always say, don't pay full price if you can save 30%, right? So use this link and sign up and start your course. And Mary says, Spain, because I speak Spanish and English, I'm interested in teaching adults. Great. I think Spain is great for teaching business English, teaching adults. So you're definitely in the right place. And with the new digital nomad visa, you might be going there sooner than you think. And Nesman says, Sri Lanka. Perfect. Yes, so they are coming out with one soon. They're in the works. So we'll keep an eye on that as well, Sri Lanka. And I'm going to search about Japan as well. I haven't heard anything about a Japanese digital nomad visa, but I'm sure they are also kind of working on something because it's Japan, right? They're very popular and they always do that kind of stuff anyway. Daniel says, I'd like to move to Asia. I thought of Thailand, but after knowing the income rates, I think I'll drop it. Well, you don't need to be a digital nomad, right, to go to Thailand. You can just be an English teacher and work for a school there, and then you don't have to worry about this requirement. This is only if you want to be a digital nomad, right? So if you can just teach English in Thailand for a school, it's definitely doable, and the cost of living is low. So I think Thailand, for English teachers is a great option, a really great option. And why not? You don't need you can do this and then transition into being a digital nomad. Or Daniel, are you set on being a digital nomad and living that life? In that case, yeah, maybe Thailand might not work out for you. But again, I mean, many, I think you should read up on that for Thailand because there are a lot of digital nomads in Thailand because you can work on the tourist visa. So a lot of people just go through the tourist visa and are digital nomads in Thailand. I know several people who are doing that. So don't worry about it. You can do it. All right, great. And Q&A is open, so I still have a few more minutes. Let's do a few more minutes. If you guys have any questions about teaching English abroad, online, TEFL, TESOL, whatever it is, ask away. Now is your opportunity. Also, nothing related to digital nomad visas. Everything you want to know, you can ask now, and I'll stay on for a couple more minutes while drinking my coffee. Yep, that hits the spot. That hits the spot right there. All right. Yeah, and how can you find this information and how can you apply? You can literally just Google digital nomad visa Belize, for example, just as an example, and then you will see the official website for the visa application. Of course, with any visa, you can go through the official embassy websites and find that. So you can get the information, the exact requirements, and all of that on the official embassy websites for each country. So that is that. And I'm just gonna Google Japan digital nomad visa. Yeah, not right now. Sadly, Japan does not have a visa specifically for digital nomads or remote workers. They might, work on that. Here, from 1 week ago, Japan has just made it easier for skilled workers to apply for a visa. So they're all moving in that direction. Two weeks ago, yeah, by 2030, more foreign talent, by remote workers, blah, blah, blah. So they're also working on it. Sounds like it. Very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting, all that. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, now is your opportunity to ask a question about TEFL, TESOL, ITTT, teaching abroad, teaching online, whatever you want to know. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes here for questions to come through, anything you're curious about. As always, you can also email us, right? Email us at courses@tsel-tefl.com with your questions. If you don't want to ask here, or if you just want to have something in writing, you can also contact me directly if you want and ask me a question over on Instagram at Linda Goes East. You can just DM me. Yeah, Sam says, considering how advanced Japan is, they still do a lot of things the traditional way. I completely agree. I actually just came back from a Japan trip last month, and that definitely stuck out to me. Yes, absolutely. They are advanced, but they also very much are still traditional and do a lot of things the old school way. But so yeah, we might be waiting for digital nomad visa a little longer for Japan, but I'm pretty sure it's coming because they also see the benefit of it, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on that. That's definitely interesting. Who brought that up? Thanks for that. Sam, yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Amitava says, well, Linda, I want a clarification on the 4-year online degree TESOL course. I wonder whether this can be done earlier than the stipulated time as stated. Yeah, as I talked to you before, the best thing to do is to email my team at courses@tsel-tefl.com because they know a lot more about the 4-year course than I do because it's a university degree, not so much my area, unfortunately, so I can't really say anything to it right now. I'm not too familiar with it. Unfortunately, I'm more the courses side, not so much the university degree side of things here at ITTT. So I'm going to have to transfer you over to my colleagues. So please, Amitava, email them at courses@tsel-tefl.com with your questions regarding the 4-year degree in TESOL. They will be able to answer all of your questions much better than I can. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know pretty much everything about the online course side of things, the TEFL, the 120-hour course, all of the online course options, but not really much about the 4-year degree, I'm afraid. So I don't want to say anything wrong. So just email them and they will help you. You can also request a call back and speak with one of our course consultants. in person. I think that would work really well and really have them explain everything to you in detail. So, sorry. Yeah, but that's good. I remember you were interested in that. So, yeah, please just email us and then we'll give you all the information. My colleagues will give you all the information that you need for it. Great. All right, good. Let's do the last minute here on the clock. So if you still have a question that's on your mind, now is your chance to ask. But like I always say, we always leave our our live sessions up in our playlists. You can rewatch, and then when you rewatch, you can still leave a comment, and me and my team will get back to you in the comments as well. So even if you're watching this later, you can just still ask. Or like I just said, always a good idea, just emailing courses at TEFL-TEFL.com. So that's another option. But yeah, that is it. So here we go. So, yep. Ask me your questions. Last chance to ask a question today, and then I'm going to be out. All right. Yeah. Sure. You're welcome, Amitava. I'm sorry I couldn't help more with that, but that's just not my area, at ITTT. So please, just my colleagues, they deal with that. We have a separate team that deals with the university degree side of things, and they just know a lot more about it than I do. So I just much rather have you talk to them about it. Thanks. All right, guys, let's see. The last couple of seconds here, because I know there's always a delay between me talking and then you seeing it, and then you need to type the question, so I understand there is a delay, so I'm just going to give you more time. If there are any questions, so just waiting here. But again, thank you so much for your support, everybody. I see a lot of familiar names also today, so thank you so much, Amitava and Daniela, Laturk, Sam, Daniel, Costa, Nesman, Sheila also. Hi, Sheila. Thanks for your comment. Mary. Who else do we have? Yeah, that's all. So thank you so much for watching today. And I hope you tune in again next week. We go live at the same time, same place. So I'll be here. I hope you'll also be here. And we're going to talk about another exciting topic. I'm very excited about it. And I hope you'll join me. And you can also ask questions then if you want. And then I'm just going to wish everybody a happy, happy weekend. And I hope to see you all again next week. And if you have any questions, you can type them here after the live finished, or you can just keep them for yourself and then ask me next week. That's also an opportunity there for you. All right, then I think I'm going to sign off. If there are no more questions coming through today, I hope you enjoyed today's session about digital nomad visas. And again, thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me that, we have a lot of regular viewers. So I really appreciate you guys. And I wish you a happy weekend. And I hope to see you all again next week. Thank you. Sam. Vielen Dank. Dankeschön. Bis nächste Woche. He says, take care, Linda. See you next week in German. Thank you so much, Sam. Danke. All right. Thank you so much, guys. And see you next week. Bye.